Right now on Denver 7 News at 6 a.m., a soggy and slushy start to your Thursday.
The snow is still falling, and we have a team of meteorologists and reporters helping prepare you for what's coming.
It's a Denver 7 Weather Action Day as the storm rolls through the state. We'll continue to see some snow through the morning hours. It'll taper off later on today. We are expecting those some wet and slushy conditions through the morning commute. More details on the weekend warm-up coming up.
And I'll walk you through how much snow you'll see in your area.
I'm Denver 7's Veronica ACOSTA, live in the South Metro, where you're going to have to push through some heavier piles of slush this morning.
And we have some breaking traffic news right now. Eastbound I-70 is closed in the foothills because they are getting a lot more snow than what we're seeing closer to Denver here. This is a live look from our crew near the closed interstate. You can see a lot of traffic backing up there near Hidden Valley, and there are some safety concerns on the road. It's very slick out there.
We do have team coverage this morning of all the impacts of this March storm, and we begin with Colette Bordelon on that big closure on the interstate.
Yeah, and that's right. I want to take you out to one of our CDOT cams showing that back up there in those eastbound lanes of 70 closed for those safety concerns because of the snow. Lots of cars just backed up there for miles there on 70. Take a look here. It's not the only closure on 70 this morning. So that one right there on 70 eastbound between Hidden Valley and Floyd Hill, like Ethan also just gave us a live look at. Then you've got two more on 40 in both directions, 70 westbound between C470 and US 40. I want to take you back out to another CDOT camera that also shows you some plows moving through. This is on I-70 eastbound. It's a little bit closer to us than that closure I first told you about, but you can see those plows trying their best to maintain the roads. Unfortunately, that snow is just sticking and it is creating too much of a safety concern to let people through on some of those areas on I-70. So if you are planning on heading up to the mountains, taking advantage of this snow at some of our resorts, you might want to give yourself some extra time or consider leaving a little bit later in the morning.
Yeah, right now at 6:02, we're looking at temperatures that are anywhere from about 30 to near 32, so it's not that cold out there, but snow continues, and it's going to be pretty heavy in spots. Yesterday, we were showing you some of those potential snowfall totals for the foothills, and it puts it at well over a foot in some spots. I'll show you additional accumulation here in just a minute, but take a look at satellite and radar as we zoom in. We're going to see snow continue through the morning hours, likely another 1 to 3 inches in Denver, where the roads have mainly just been wet, but some heavier accumulation south and west. In fact, we could see another 3 to 6 inches in those spots through the morning hours. We have a number of alerts in place until midday today, until noon, and then we'll start to see things taper off by this afternoon. Right now, though, we're down to near freezing. Denver 31. It's going to feel like 19, though, so when you factor in winds of around 15 to near 25 miles per hour, not only blowing some of the snow around, but making it feel even colder. So for kids that are heading out to school this morning, bundle up, jacket, hat, gloves. We're going to stay in the mid to upper 30s through the afternoon with not much of a warm up. And Stacey Donaldson joins us live now outside here in Denver, where the snow really picked up, Stace, within just about the last hour or so.
It really has. The snow's picked up and the wind has picked up, and I'm finally getting the teeth chatter from the wind. It feels like it's in the teens right now. Now, the roads really aren't too bad. We saw the rain change over to snow overnight. Temperatures still in the low 30s here, so traffic seems to be moving along at speed, but it really is just snow continuing to come down at a steady pace. Our temperatures right around freezing, and we're seeing accumulation on the grassy areas and on the trees. But as we head through the rest of the day, we still have a winter storm warning in effect until noon. What we've noticed out here standing on Spear and Lincoln is a lot more ambulances and fire trucks being dispatched this morning. So we're thinking that the icy roads are probably slick in areas, and we're seeing more accidents starting to occur as more people get on the roadways. So at this point, it's still windy and cold out here, but we'll continue to see that snow as we go through the rest of the morning, and we'll keep you updated out here in downtown Denver.
All right, Stacey, thank you. Get back in the car. Let's get out to Denver 7's Veronica ACOSTA in Centennial. Also seeing that heavy slush on the roads there, Veronica. Cars just whipping that up.
Lots of slush and lots of wet snow coming down. Let's show you the different things we're seeing out here. First off, to the ground, this is the actual street. You're seeing a little bit more accumulation here this morning. And then, of course, this separate area of the actual street. This is where you start seeing some of that slush. This is wet snow. It is, of course, melting, and it continues to melt because it was such a warm couple of days. If we go out into the actual roadway, that's where you're going to see a lot of that slush accumulating. You know, it's getting kicked around by cars back and forth. Once you do see a car drive down this road, we're right near near Phillips and County Line, or Yosemite rather, you'll see some of that kickback from those vehicles like this one that's coming up here. You're going to have those windshield wipers going on all morning long during your commute. That's going to be the biggest thing, and that is because it was so warm. A lot of this snow, while it's falling, it is wet and it is melting. Guys, back to you.
All right, thanks, Veronica. If you plan to spend time in the high country, not only be aware of that road closure on I-70, but be aware of the avalanche danger. This is a look at the state map. Right now, most of the high country is under moderate risk. Just yesterday, crews shut down Loveland Pass because of an avalanche. Search and rescue crews were out there after they saw a single truck from a snowboard a single track from a snowboard, that is, go onto into the slide of the avalanche, but no visible track out of that. They did an extensive search. They never found anyone and cleared the scene. This morning, DIA is seeing some delays and cancellations. We just checked, and according to FlightAware, there are now 68 cancellations and 20 flight delays. You can follow along with the forecast anytime. We have a 24/7 weather stream on the Denver 7 Plus app. You can download that on your Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, or Android.
Well, the United Nations is holding a meeting today to discuss the humanitarian crisis in Ukraine. The UN says there are now more than 3 million refugees who escaped the country since the war started. The meeting was requested by the U.S., the U.K., France, Ireland, Norway, and Albania. A Ukrainian official says Russian airstrikes destroyed a theater in Mariupol where civilians were taking shelter. Look at this satellite image. The writing on both sides said that children were inside and it was targeted anyway. The former head of the region shared in a short statement on Facebook people were coming out alive. It's unclear right now how many people survived there. President Biden sending $800 million in military aid to Ukraine. One of the weapons going overseas are Switchblade drones. Unlike larger Predator drones that fire missiles at targets, the Switchblade drones fit into a bag and aren't meant to return from their mission. These drones are designed to crash directly into a target, which detonates its small warhead. The administration's support package also includes Stinger missiles, rifles, and thousands of anti-armor weapons.
After the lockout delayed spring training, the Rockies are finally starting games today. They'll play 21 games in 20 days. The Rockies and the Arizona Diamondbacks share a spring training facility in Tucson, Salt River Fields at Talking Stick.
It's the most panoramic spring training park in all of baseball, in my opinion. We have mountain views, 360 degrees around the ballpark. It's stunningly beautiful. The architecture, the land that it's on. It's the only Major League Sports facility built on Native American land.
Now, if you want to try to make it out there for spring training, tickets start at $15 for the lawn area, which is popular with families because kids can run around. The Rockies season opener is here in Denver on Friday, April 8th. From the diamond to the hardwood, the CSU men's team is getting ready for its first round in the NCAA tournament. 6-seed CSU is taking on 11-seed Michigan. Tip-off is at 10:15 a.m. in Indianapolis.
And we're excited here in Broncos country. We're officially in the Russell Wilson era.
Yeah, the Broncos introduced Wilson as their new quarterback Wednesday. He talked about his special connection to Denver.
Denver was a place that has meant a lot to me all over the years, but to know that this is a winning football team, you know, if I was gonna waive my no trade clause, you know, it had to be to a winning football team. And these guys are winners back here, and so I'm excited about it. It's a winning locker room, so it's about the players. You know, it's about the players. It's about obviously a great coaching staff and the organization, but the players, we help get it done, and that's what I was excited about. Broncos country, let's ride.
Wilson also said his goal is to play 10 to 12 more years and win 3 to 4 more Super Bowls.
The Broncos tweeted out this picture showing Russell and his wife, singer Sierra, holding up a Wilson Broncos jersey. They titled the picture King and Queen of Broncos Country. If you're looking to add the Wilson jersey to your collection, you can order one right now through the Broncos fan shop on the NFL's website. 6 of the top 10 best-selling jerseys are Wilson right now. You can also find those at the team shop on the south side of Empower Field.
We do have some disappointing news, though, for Broncos country. Former Broncos star Von Miller is going to Buffalo. He signed a 6-year, $120 million deal.
And this is great news. Overnight, we learned MIKAELA SHIFFRIN is bouncing back after failing to medal at the Winter Olympics. She won skiing's overall World Cup title for the 4th time. This is SHIFFRIN's first title after winning 3 straight from 2017 to 2019. She now ties Lindsey Vonn for the 2nd most overall world titles. An Austrian skier from the 1970s holds the record with 6. Lisa.
See, she's still a rock star. Now at 6:10, it's still a Denver 7 weather action day. Snow continuing to fall. Now we had a winter weather advisory in effect up north through Fort Collins. You can see that has now been pulled down. It's just not as bad up to the north. Down here in town, south and west of Denver, that snow is really coming down. So we still have some winter storm warnings in effect until noon today. We'll take a look at some additional snowfall totals, what we're expecting, and how things are going to clear out later today coming up.
Yeah, and Lisa, we do have a closure there on 70 that's causing some pretty big backups here. These are the eastbound lanes of I-70 right there near Idaho Springs. That part of the highway is closed, but it's not the only closure I have to tell you about. If you're headed to the mountains, we got a couple of things I got to run through, give you everything you need to know.
All right, thank you, Colette. Well, the raise rather that you've been wanting might be sooner than you think. Why some employers are reviewing salaries more often.
Plus, smashing records in space. We'll tell you about the astronaut who's made his way into NASA history. And don't forget your green today. The St. Patrick's Day events you can check out in town, including a big one that's back for the first time in 3 years.